Breaking news here at noon. A new video of a man snooping around someone's lanai in Cape Coral. Now police are trying to find him before he breaks into another home. Plus, new video of a lot of glass just dumped on the side of the road in Charlotte County. We'll tell you how deputies tracked down the man who left this mess behind.
This helps us to be much more efficient after a storm because we can go.
And how new equipment will help our power workers get the lights back on after our next big storm. See the new tools they have this hurricane season. Well, thanks for counting on Gulf Coast News on this Tuesday. I'm Elise Chingari. We have a lot to get to today, but first, let's start out in Cape Coral, where police are investigating after someone tried to break into a house. The house is located here off Del Prado Boulevard and Northeast 6th Street. The person who lives at the house shares video of the man just snooping around the lanai of their house. Take a look. He has on a hoodie, mask, and gloves when he got in through the unlocked door there. Now, once the man found out security cameras were rolling, he ran off. If you recognize this man or know anything about this situation, you're asked to call Cape Coral Police Department. Right now, Fort Myers Police Department and Fire Department, they're responding to a gas leak here on our Gulf Coast. So this is located along Buckingham Road, just east of State Road 82. We're told the westbound lanes on Buckingham going into Fort Myers, well, they are closed right now while these repairs are ongoing. Of course, we'll let you know when this area is cleared, but again, try to avoid this area due to this gas leak. Right now at noon, Lee County deputies arrest a woman for depositing fraudulent checks across multiple banks. LCSO says 20-year-old Stephanie Mosqueda attempted to deposit these multiple checks at different bank locations. Deputies say she was at the Regions Bank and US 41 last week when she made similar deposits throughout the day. LCSO says the checks were from a company in Tampa. However, that company says they're based outside of Florida and have no ties to Tampa. The woman you see here is now facing serious charges. A man barricades himself and fires shots at deputies. It happened at an apartment near the University of Florida in Gainesville today. Deputies had to evacuate people at the apartments there. They're actually trying to get the man to surrender. It's about a block away from campus. However, the school says that there is no threat to the campus at this time. So the University of Florida says normal operations have since resumed. More breaking news on this Tuesday. New York City investigators say the man who killed the 4 people at the Manhattan office building, well, they say the man was trying to target the NFL. Investigators believe he was trying to get into different offices last night, but he took the wrong elevator. 4 people, including an off-duty New York City police officer, were killed. Police say Shane Tamura had a history of mental illness. They say he had a note on him suggesting he had a grievance against the NFL over a claim that he suffered from chronic head issues, even writing in a suicide note that he wanted his head tested. We also want to get to a photo of the New York City police officer who died. You see him right now on your screen. Durrell Islam, the police commissioner, said he has 2 children and his wife's pregnant, expecting their 3rd child. Islam is actually the first Bangladeshi police officer killed in the line of duty in New York City. Cape Coral police arrest a man for having child pornography. Cape Coral police arrest Franz Claire just yesterday. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children tell police that someone uploaded multiple files, at least 2, of suspected files of child porn to their Dropbox back in January. Cape Coral police say they found 45 files of child pornography. Police executed a search warrant at this man's house that's located along Southeast 15th Place, where he was arrested. I want to get to this new video here at noon of these windshields, these car windshields that were just dumped in a field in Charlotte County. Deputies say a man left all of this glass just behind. The sheriff's office says Angel Concepcion had been working as a windshield replacement technician across multiple counties here on our Gulf Coast, including Charlotte County. Deputies say he dumped about 250 of those windshields that you were seeing in the video. They were found in a vacant lot along Taylor Road. A detective figured out who dumped the glass from security video, and then they say Concepcion later confessed. A man in Lehigh Acres will spend the next 3.5 years in federal prison for having a gun and ammo while being a convicted felon. Prosecutors say a trooper pulled over Andre Barnes for speeding. Then they searched his car and they found the loaded gun. Well, restoring power after a named storm, we know that that's a major priority each hurricane season here in Florida. And today, we're seeing the equipment that Florida Power and Light is working with this year to help this. Gulf Coast News reporter Kennedy Mason is in Fort Myers showing us their new tools.
Collaborating before a hurricane hits is essential. That's why Florida Power and Light, Lee County Electric Cooperative, and Lee County leaders all came together today to talk about ways they are working together.
We have added 37,000 square feet of space here in Lee County, and the entire goal is to set the new standard for coordination among different agencies in times of an emergency. So you'll notice that in this building now, we have relocated the 911 answering center to this building.
FPL is constantly working to get your power back on. One example is this truck. I'm sitting in FPL's mobile command unit. Now, this is where crews sit after a storm hits to try to get your power back. This data shows them whose power is on and whose power is off. LCEC is taking steps too. They started transmission structure changes to improve how fast they get your power back.
We upgraded them from wood to concrete across our transmission system. During Hurricane Ian, we did not lose one transmission structure as a result.
Alan Ruth, LCEC Director of Business Continuity, says they also do annual tabletop exercises. Then they incorporate lessons learned from the previous storm into their plan as they move forward. All of them working individually and together to get your power back on as soon as possible. In Lee County, Kennedy Mason, Gulf Coast News.
We know how important that is. Thank you, Kennedy. And as part of peak hurricane season inches closer, a massive lifeline is coming for many Florida homeowners. We're talking about free money from the state to help protect your house from devastating storms. The My Safe Florida Home Program has $280 million to help people here in our state harden their houses with new windows, doors, protections for your roof. All things will help reduce the cost of home insurance.
I'm reminding people that now that the program is reopening, don't wait. Apply for the program as soon as possible because those funds do tend to dry up pretty fast. These initiatives have shown tremendous benefits in reducing the cost of the homeowner's insurance.
So your home must have an insured value of $700,000 or less to qualify for the up to $10,000. We have a link to the application on our Gulf Coast News app. Well, if you're an LCEC member, the company says base rates are not expected to go up for electricity in 2025. LCEC says electricity rates across the country have increased faster than inflation since 2022, and they're expected to continue increasing through 2026. And from your Cape Coral News team, the city of Cape Coral is holding a second meeting today to discuss all of its parks and recreation master plans. The idea of the master plan is to look at ways to make parks across the city better. There's several questions that the master plan addresses. You can see them right here on your screen. The master plan also looks at many facts like age, race, and household types. The plan assesses the leisure and recreation needs of the community there in Cape Coral. The meeting is today at 6 o'clock at the Public Works Operations Center, which is located along Nicholas Parkway. Also, the Cape Coral Community Redevelopment Agency, well, they're planning to talk tomorrow about the funding for the new Slipway Food Truck Park and Marina. The food truck park sits at the base of the Cape Coral Bridge. The agency will talk about whether or not the food truck park is eligible for tax increment funding. They'll also talk about whether or not to approve a grant requested for the food truck park. We'll keep you updated on what happens in that meeting. Take a look. It's a hemp dispensary in Cape Coral, and you can see that a man is trying to break in over the weekend. We're talking about Superior Hemp Dispensary on Cape Coral Parkway. The suspect smashes the window with what appears to be a brick or a rock that's wrapped up in a shirt. He tried to open the door, but he couldn't because one, it was locked, and two, they have those metal bars on the door there. Cape Coral police say during their investigation, the alarms didn't go off.
He looks like a kid, can't point it out, but Again, I would say it was for Pokemon cards and just an act of stupidity.
You know, evidently the new guy doesn't watch the news and found out that the old guy got 54 months in prison for what he did.
Yeah, and those bars that you see there on the door, they were installed back in November from another burglar who tried to break in. Cape Coral police say they have not found the suspect yet, so take a good look at your screen. If you have any idea who this person is or information, call Cape Coral Police Department. A man in Port Charlotte is accused of raping a teenager and encouraging their friends, the other teenagers, to join in. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office says 3 teenage girls, they were having a sleepover on Friday when one of them was Snapchatting the man that you see here, Elaine Blaze, on your screen. Deputies say he pretended to be he was 14 and told the girls he had a friend with him who was 16 years old and wanted to hang out. An affidavit says Blaze picked up the girls around midnight, took them to a park, Larry Taylor Kiwanis Park. They say he had some sexual acts between one and the other teenagers, trying to convince the other 2, both under 16, to join on in. After the girls tried to escape, he allegedly followed, saying he'd take them home. Deputies say Blaze pinned the first girl to the wall, raped her even after she said no.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? You tell them not to take candy from strangers. You tell them not to take rides from strangers, but you also have to watch them on the internet because it's even easier there.
Blaze eventually took the girls home, who told their parents, and went to a hospital. Detectives eventually took Blaze in for questioning. They found him at his workplace. He faces sexual battery and lewd and lascivious conduct charges. Cuyahoga County Public Schools is kicking off the start of the 2025-2026 school year and shared some new information ahead of this school year. Among the things that were discussed at today's event included some highlights across the school district. There's a ribbon-cutting ceremony scheduled for next month for a new elementary school. They also highlight the district's achievements and the district being given an A rating by the Florida Department of Education.
The best thing we can do, and the best thing we do, we have amazing teachers in Collier County. Put them in front of the kids. Let them interact with the kids and let the kids interact with each other.
It's coming up. The first day for teachers is August 4th. Students will return to school for the first day on August 11th.
We're honest people, and so this was an easy way of us going out to earn some extra money.
And now a Florida Uber driver is telling you about a warning after she and her husband became the victims of a scam that was going on. You'll hear from her next. Lauren?
Well, it looks beautiful, but how it feels is an entirely different story. Feeling like 104 up in Punta Gorda. I'll show you if record heat will be possible again today.